In a world overflowing with rules and regulations, why does true justice still feel out of reach sometimes? The answer might lie in something deeper: natural law. Natural law is different from statutory or common law, which are found in our legal systems and in other parts of our societies, which are also man-made systems that are built to control behavior. Natural law, as the name implies, is from nature and is a universal moral code, rooted in cause and effect, sovereignty, and truth. It doesn't come from governments or courts. It comes from the very fabric of existence. It's based on the idea that certain rights or moral principles, like the understanding that unaliving others, theft, or coercion are wrong, aren't created by society. These rights are inherent to human nature, discoverable through reason, and apply to everyone regardless of culture or belief. While legal systems manage populations through contracts and legal fictions, using tools like birth certificates, legal names, and imposed citizenship, natural law asks a more fundamental question: who really owns your mind, your body, your soul? This isn't just about laws, it's about waking up to the hidden systems shaping your reality and remembering the principles that were yours all along. By the end of this video, you'll understand how natural law reveals the invisible chains around us and how reclaiming your sovereignty starts with breaking them. Also, make sure you stick around for the end of the video for 5 quick exercises that can help you reclaim your power in a world that's full of control, whether it be politics, your job, or anything else that might feel like is out of your control. Natural law isn't just about resisting external control. It's rooted in a deep philosophical and spiritual tradition. Thinkers like Plato, Cicero, Aquinas, and John Locke all believed in a higher order, a set of moral truths discoverable through reason and aligned with the universe itself. For them, justice wasn't invented by humans. It was something we could tap into. They all believed that certain actions like taking a life or injustice violate natural law. Injustice, for them, could include acts like theft, deceit, or oppression, any action that harms another's inherent rights or dignity. Plato believed that behind the chaos of everyday life existed a higher realm of perfect forms, unchanging truths. Justice, to him, wasn't a man-made concept. It was an eternal idea we could glimpse through reason. Natural law, in this sense, is about aligning our actions with these timeless principles. Cicero, a Roman philosopher and statesman, saw natural law as the foundation of real justice, universal, eternal, and rooted in nature itself. He argued that if a law contradicts reason or morality, it isn't a law at all. For Cicero, natural law was divine reason imprinted on the human soul. Thomas Aquinas took this further, merging faith and reason. He said natural law was part of God's eternal law, made knowable to us through human reason. Aquinas believed we're morally obligated to follow these laws, not just because of religion, but because they reflect the true good. John Locke, a major influence on modern democracy, framed natural law as the basis for natural rights, life, liberty, and property. He believed these rights exist before governments and that political systems should exist to protect them, not invent or grant them. In modern times, voices like Mark Passio describe natural law as a spiritual science, a set of universal principles that govern the consequences of human behavior, not subjective morality, but objective truth, cause and effect built into the fabric of reality. This aligns with ancient teachings like Hermetic principle, as above, so below. What happens in the cosmos reflects what happens within. When you're out of alignment with natural law, chaos follows. Not as punishment, but as a result of being out of sync with reality. And here's where we begin to touch on something even deeper: Christ consciousness. Not religious dogma, but a state of being that lives in truth, love, and divine order. It's a form of inner sovereignty, and we will explore this more in the next video. So here's the question: is natural law a divine truth, or just a better system for justice? Maybe it's both. So in the beginning of the video, I brought up how natural law is a universal moral code. That means it is all about inherent truth and justice set by the universe. But if natural law is about truth and justice, why does the world still run on something else? Human psychology evolved to prioritize survival, group belonging, and short-term reward. In ancient times, conformity kept us safe. obedience to authority, going along with the tribe, these instincts helped us avoid danger. But today, those same instincts can lead us to comply with unjust systems, ignore moral intuition, or trade freedom for comfort. So while natural law reflects universal principles, our evolved behaviors sometimes pull us away from them, unless we consciously choose otherwise. This led to the development of another system, statutory law. Unlike natural law, which is inherent and discovered, statutory law is invented. It operates like a hidden power game, a game of contracts, consent, and control. Statutory law became necessary as societies grew more complex. It helped organize large groups, settle disputes, and establish order beyond small tribal bonds. But over time, the ego, driven by power, fear, and control, shaped these laws not to protect freedom, but to preserve hierarchy. What began as a tool for structure became a system for domination, as the ego used law to define ownership, status, and obedience. From the moment you're issued a birth certificate, you're assigned a legal name, a fictional identity known as a straw man. This identity is what courts, governments, and corporations interact with, not the real you. As explored in Black's Law Dictionary, legal systems often redefine everyday words to trap people in jurisdictional loopholes. And here's the kicker. Most laws you follow, they're actually contracts, and your silence or your ritual participation counts as agreement. This isn't just a conspiracy theory. It's a legal structure hiding in plain sight. Have you ever noticed how systems of control often work through subtle, hidden agreements? Think about traffic stops, court summons, voting, or even pledges of allegiance. These aren't just simple actions, they're offers disguised as commands. If you don't actively question or reject them, your silence is taken as consent. It's a trick to make you comply without ever fully realizing it. But it doesn't stop there. Symbols and rituals like flags, national anthems, and the very layout of courtrooms aren't just traditions. They're tools of allegiance. These rituals are designed to bypass your conscious mind and tap into deeper subconscious programming. This hidden knowledge, used to maintain power, is often occulted or kept out of plain sight so you don't even realize how deeply you're being influenced. As we discussed earlier, this is where the ideas of symbolic programming and jurisdictional tricks come into play. These systems don't just control what you do, they shape your very perception of what's possible, steering you into cycles of rebellion that are destined to fail. As history shows, every time people rise up for change, the system adapts and the same power dynamics re-emerge. History is full of revolutions that promised freedom but ended in disappointment. The French Revolution, communist regimes, and even modern populist movements each started with lofty ideals but ultimately saw new rulers replacing the old ones. This cycle of rebellion and co-option reveals a key truth. Idealism often gets hijacked, and instead of true liberation, we end up with more control, just under different names. Class struggle and ideology frequently recreate oppression under new labels. Whether it's left versus right, globalist versus nationalist, the divide keeps people locked in conflict, while the power structure remains largely the same. To break this cycle, real sovereignty begins with rejecting these group labels. It's about taking back personal agency, freeing yourself from the labels that divide and control. Thinkers like Murray Bookchin and Lysander Spooner have championed a decentralized, principled resistance, advocating for a system where power is not centralized but spread out, empowering individuals to resist control and reclaim their autonomy. While Bookchin and Spooner emphasized decentralized power, the systems we live under do the opposite. They centralize power, manipulate perception, and control through deception. This creates a world where truth becomes distorted and freedom is redefined in ways that trap us. Systems of control work by inverting the very essence of truth. Freedom is reframed as selfishness, while truth is twisted into what they call conspiracy. Blind obedience becomes praised as a virtue, and the very essence of justice is turned upside down. Meanwhile, the elite are protected through corporate personhood and government immunity, while everyday individuals are subjected to constant regulation and surveillance. Corporations, legal fictions, are treated as people, given rights and privileges that often surpass those of real, living individuals. Meanwhile, you, the person, are treated as property, bound by laws that don't serve you but only reinforce the power of the few. This isn't accidental. It's all a part of a hidden system based in occult knowledge and ritual compliance. Most people are ruled without ever realizing it, conditioned to obey without questioning the underlying forces that shape their world. But reclaiming your sovereignty means breaking free from this unconscious obedience, awakening to the truth that you have the power to govern yourself. At the heart of natural law is self-ownership, the belief that no one can dictate your thoughts, your values, or control your body. Reclaiming your internal jurisdiction means stepping into personal sovereignty, rejecting the idea that you are a passive participant in systems of control. Practical tools for living in alignment with natural law include practices like conditional acceptance, where you calmly question authority in situations like traffic stops, or withdrawing consent from systems that seek to control you, such as refusing to pledge allegiance or sign contracts that bind you without your full understanding. It's about shedding labels and false identities that limit your true self. Embracing natural law is not about chaos, it's about moral clarity. Understanding cause and effect, and taking responsibility for the life you consciously create. As visionary Buckminster Fuller once said, "Don't fight the system. Build a better one that makes the old obsolete." By reclaiming your sovereignty and aligning with natural law, you not only empower yourself, but also recognize the interconnectedness of all things, human and non-human alike. This awareness leads us to understand that the same principles of balance and reciprocity that govern our lives also apply to the world around us. Natural law doesn't just apply to human behavior. It extends to the natural world. Just as we have moral principles that govern how we interact with each other, the earth operates within its own laws of balance and reciprocity. When we exploit the environment, we disrupt these cycles, causing harm not just to nature, but to ourselves as well. Both capitalism and socialism, in their quest for infinite growth, overlook the natural limits of the planet, pushing for expansion at the expense of ecological health. Natural law, however, honors these boundaries, recognizing that true prosperity comes from respecting the earth's cycles and interdependence. It teaches us that just as we are responsible for our actions toward others, we are equally accountable for how we treat the world around us. This isn't just about politics, it's about embracing an ethical philosophy that aligns our actions with the well-being of the planet. By embracing these principles, we can begin to live in alignment with Earth's natural laws. These 5 exercises that I'm about to share with you and that I teased in the beginning of the video will help us become more conscious of our actions and their impact, both on the world around us and on our own personal sovereignty. Number 1, the silence challenge. Awareness of consent. Take one day to notice how often you silently comply or say yes without truly understanding. Whether it's clicking agree on a website, standing for a pledge, or accepting rules, ask yourself, did I truly consent, or was I conditioned to comply? This exercise helps you become aware of unconscious agreements that shape your life. Number 2, journal prompt. What am I giving my power to? Spend 10 to 15 minutes journaling about where you give away your power. Is it through fear, social pressure, institutions, labels, or ideologies? This reflection helps reveal the mental contracts you've unknowingly made, contracts that you have the power to break. Number 3, practice conditional acceptance. Next time you're asked to sign something or accept authority, pause and mentally or even verbally ask, under what law or authority? Or say, I conditionally accept upon proof of claim. This practice shifts your mindset towards sovereignty, even in symbolic situations. Number 4, media detox and symbol observation. Take a break from mainstream news or algorithm-driven content for 24 to 48 hours. During this time, observe the symbols, flags, and rituals in daily life, like ads, politics, or sports. This practice reveals the hidden programming in our surrounding and helps you reclaim mental clarity. Number 5, grounding in nature. Natural law connection. Spend time in nature with no phone and no distractions as you immerse yourself in the natural world. Reflect on patterns of balance, reciprocity, and cause and effect. This exercise helps you reconnect with the laws of nature that exist beyond man-made constructs. The true battle we face isn't just political. It's psychological and spiritual. Natural law challenges us to ask, are we acting out of fear or are we choosing freedom? Are we obeying out of habit or are we making conscious decisions from a place of awareness? But here's the real tension. Is personal awakening enough to dismantle these corrupt systems, or do we need a collective awakening to create real change? Natural law isn't just about justice. It's about remembering who you really are. For more on psychology, spirituality, and how the world affects you, check out this video here. And to look at an in-depth discussion about natural law, check out this live stream right here. Thanks for watching.